Welcome to Talent Pop Podcast, where we will provide tips and strategies for success in sales, networking, marketing, and business. We will be learning from real stories that will inspire you to unlock your potential, discover your talents, and develop the confidence to take action on your biggest dreams. We are focused on empowering women to connect their passions with their purpose to find true fulfillment. It's time to pop off, queens! Pop off, queens! Hi, this is Amanda O'Connell, your host of Talent Pop. And in today's episode, we're going to be talking about a couple different things. Definitely the opening of our new division at Recruiter Boom called RB Digital, focusing on marketing. And, I have my special guest here, William O'Connell, who is my husband and business partner. And we've been talking about this for a while. We've kind of dipped our toe into it just before COVID, and everything's like pre and post COVID now is how we speak. But we did open up RB Digital before, and now we are launching it officially. So it is up and running. We already have clients and candidates, and we just really want to talk about the opening of this division, what that entails, and just kind of where we're going as a company. So really exciting. And then we'll talk about kind of our backgrounds as well that really ties in nicely to this new division and why we're doing it. So thank you for being here. We're excited to really just dive in and chat about it. And so if you want to introduce yourself a little bit, I know you don't get too much to talk here.
Hi. Well, of course, like Amanda said, my name's Will O'Connell. Amanda and I co-founded Recruiter Boom back 5.5 years ago.
Yep.
It's been quite an adventure, amazing journey, exciting, lots of fun. Feels like we're able to. Of course, Amanda and I are married, and we have our own family, 2 children. But we were also able to. Feels like to build another family, right?
Yes.
A professional family, work fam over the last 5.5 years. So it's a really exciting time. Business is doing very well. We are continuing to look for ways to be more to bring better quality, better service to our clients and bring amazing experiences to our candidates. So we really love where our portfolio is at right now from an overall quality perspective and overall outstanding just communication and creating win-win situations for everybody. Now in terms of me, I think Amanda, I also started as a marketing person.
Yep.
And I did work for maybe about 6 months or so, placing creatives, marketing digital folks at one of my older firms. And so after just 3 years of working in marketing in-house for an insurance company on the product side, just really excited to kind of bring that over to this staffing agency side and being able to place creatives, digital marketing folks. So great to be here, and just really pumped to also we've got another big announcement. I don't know if you want me to announce that.
Oh yeah,
right
sure.
Now,
Go right ahead.
So just yesterday we officially announced to the team, and should be coming out on LinkedIn and in press releases and all over the news wire, is Amanda has stepped into a really important position for us in our new division. So Amanda is going to be president and CEO of RB Digital. So congratulations, Amanda.
Thank
Round of applause for you.
I appreciate that. And it's definitely exciting. I think, we talked about this a little bit, and really what's important to me is obviously the company growth, but also I don't think you can grow a company without growing yourself. Especially, I love to study leadership, and I think constantly being introspective and realizing, where you can grow and how you can serve better, and just I think it's a natural next step for me, and it's been exciting for me. It's something we've been talking about for a while, and didn't necessarily have the manpower or stability we have now. to be in this place, to be able to really strongly kick this off and be really successful with it. So this is the perfect time for us. And we've done really well on the TA side. We've established ourselves in the marketplace. People know Recruiter Boom now. And so, this is the next step for us. It's a level up, and it's a level up for me, and it's a new challenge for me, which is so important. And I obviously want to inspire people internally to do the same, and externally too, which is why we have Talent Pop. It's really important. So yeah, I'm very excited, and I think for it being a natural step, we both of us have a marketing background. It's funny because, we graduated from Emerson, from the same school, and had, similar majors with marketing. And, I think a lot of students come out thinking like, oh, I'm going to do, creative and marketing. And there's so many, marketing is such a wide scope. And what we found in recruiting is a lot of fulfillment in so many different ways, especially in a startup, creating our own company. We're able to, exercise that creative side of our brains, and, the logo design. And, we have a lot of fun. You can see some of our promotional items here that we've done over the years. And of course, our Boomer Bot mascot. So we still are able to exercise that super creative side of us that, makes us happy and fulfills us, while at the same time, connecting with people and doing recruiting. And you can talk about this a little bit too, is just your transition. I mean, my transition, I loved I've never not liked marketing. I definitely felt like it was the right fit coming out of school, and I have both corporate and nonprofit experience, so I was able to kind of explore a lot of different areas in marketing, from events to content creation to social media, digital media, and marketing is always growing and changing. So I think transitioning into recruiting was a little bit hard, but what I really love about it is the ability to really get to know people and connect with people and make an impact immediately. I think, sometimes being behind the scenes, it's a little hard for me. I want to see results right away. I want to see that I can get off the phone with somebody and have an action item, and I can directly impact them right away. And then I think the other thing I was missing kind of sometimes was being behind, like in a cubicle all day, right? Or maybe I have some meetings here and there with the marketing team, but you don't get to talk to, outside of that, you don't get to talk to a ton of people. And I was finding that when I was working at trade shows and I was talking about products and I was meeting new people, I started to light up a little bit more. And I started to, realize like, hey, I really kind of enjoy talking with people, even though, I thought, oh, maybe I'm too introverted or this or that. But I feel like it was helping fulfill that side of it, that human connection that I was like really missing, being behind the scenes and like working on, spreadsheets or projects behind the scenes. So for me personally, I think that added a whole new level of, okay, stepping out of my comfort zone and of course I was nervous talking with people, being on the phone, being on video was a huge transition and stepping out of my comfort zone, but also an area of growth and fulfillment. So I always encourage people, if you're scared to do something, it's probably a good sign most of the time, because you're stepping out and you're trying something new. And don't close the door to things like that, because worst case scenarios, you decide, this doesn't light me up and I don't want to do this on a day-to-day basis. But and the same token, it can open up so many new doors for you and your future. So I'd love to hear about your experience as well. I know you came from, marketing side and super creative, and so go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, I've had quite a evolution in terms of like kind of what, when I was a young kid, I loved to draw, and then as I went into my middle school, high school years, I loved to write, and then I started as a journalism major over at Emerson College, and after my freshman year, I was working at the school newspaper, and our editor and some of our senior people are graduating, and they, after a year out, I'd reconnect with them, like, don't do journalism, you don't make any money. And so of course I took that to heart, and I decided to jump into the marketing side and more into the business side, and it was really exciting. I mean, I think I always joked, like, Emerson was, I always thought like marketing was like common sense, but I guess in reality it's just like really, like we were taught like PR, like public relations, advertising. It was just kind of like who I already was like how I was kind of built already. So I kind of like felt like it was just really an extension of like my personality was like studying marketing. So and then of course as I kind of became a junior in college, I had like an itch to be like kind of get into entrepreneurship, like started the first, I was part of the first E3 Emerson Experience in Entrepreneurship
and I feel like program. You excelled in that class. Like, did you get some sort of award or I don't know?
So I was I was selected to be like a keynote speaker at our exposition, which is a huge honor. The late great Carl Baer, Dr. Carl Baer was our professor, and he was the advisor director of E3. But I that was fun too, because my best friend happened to be a musician, so we started a kind of an indie record label, and we had him as our like flagship musician. And of course, lucky for us, my friend Jeff's I'll give him a shout out, John Charles Music Group, Charles, circa 05, 06. They went into like even a couple of years after graduation, we he kept it going, and so lucky for us. Jeff's parents were invested, and they helped us kind of like fund the merchandise and getting some records made, and we made the right connections, and did the typical like early 20s bartering with like graphic designers and like trying to find bass players and
but you say that's typical, and I think that's what led you to the recruiting side of things, and it's super interesting, like comparing marketing to recruiting and how similar I think the two are, and just like even with your personality, realizing like kind of what you were good at, which was like being a connector and like almost like recruiting people to be part of this this music group. And I think that can get overlooked as like for some people that's really, really hard to do, is to who do I go to? And for you it just seemed like it was a very natural process. And so it's just cool to see that, how you were able to kind of get into recruiting and have success right away, just because I feel like you have kind of that natural, I don't know. What do you think? I mean, how much of that is natural? I mean, obviously it's a ton of hard work and a ton of, talking with people. But how do you feel about that? And I guess your transition.
So I kind of like segues kind of like more like purpose and identity. I think I did the more like kind of, I guess, conservative, safe thing to do, like after, instead of like continuing with like running a business or like opening a brand or doing my own entrepreneurial thing. I did the safe thing and got a marketing job in an insurance company, and I actually it was definitely work I could do. I enjoyed like kind of coordinating a lot of things for the marketing department and supporting our wholesalers and our channels. I think at the time though was really did kind of feel like work, because it was like an office job. I feel like it wasn't necessarily a natural, like it didn't feel like natural, like part of my purpose and identity, and really I was in kind of like a responsive kind of like customer servicey like type.
It's very much like
role.
Feels like support. I mean, marketing is support. It's usually sales support, so it's very much like a supportive role. And so no, I can relate to that, because I feel like you needed to.
So, and I think what's interesting is it was kind of like with the, as part of a large layoff, right, back in early 2009, after that kind of our like kind of economic recession we had,
market.
And I remember just thinking like, wow, like I really want to give back to like kind of like alma mater schools, help kids kind of find like internships, entry-level jobs, kind of bridging relationships between like alumni relations and the career service center, and just kind of came up with like a fun like business on the side, trying to help Emerson College and Suffolk schools. I know that, so that was kind of like a business model. We had we started kind of getting involved in that, and then an opportunity kind of appeared for me to go work in pro basketball, where a few of my fellow basketball teammates and alumni had moved on to coach professional basketball and coach college basketball. So I kind of jumped at the opportunity to kind of moved to Chicago, I think I was worked for the Boston Celtics D League team at the time. They're called the G League team now, and now they're the Maine Red Claws back in 2010. Now they're the Maine Celtics and part of the G League, Gatorade League.
Okay.
So we did that. Ended up moving to Chicago. Interned at Attack Athletics.
Yep.
Got to really meet some amazing people there. Tim Grover, who's really made a name for himself. Not only as Michael Jordan's trainer, also has written some amazing books. Got to work with Mike Procopio, who had worked in pro basketball himself and has doing some really, really cool things, kind of innovator in the, in being Kobe Bryant's personal advance scout, back 10 years ago, 12 years ago now. Did some really cool stuff. And then an opportunity came about when I was in Chicago to interview for, actually it was to be a marketing recruiter. And I interviewed there and had a good interview. And then, somehow I was kind of hot potatoed over to our technology division, and they made me an offer, and I said, you know what, like, this is double what I'm making now, pretty much. So I'm gonna do it, and immediately I just kind of fell right in love with it. It was awesome.
Wow.
Just to just kind of really the process of tech recruiting. But I know that a couple years later, when we got engaged and moved back to Boston, I also had an opportunity to get promoted and kind of help kind of like
build a team.
Exactly. Help kind of build a team on the creative side, and that was a lot of fun for me and had a lot of success. We were able to do some really cool things over there, and I think eventually found our way to in Recruiter Boom recruiting recruiters. But I mean, in terms of like just building the brand, like I think really it's kind of like, number one, like I consider myself like a marketing person. Like we want to, I think that's like LinkedIn, point. We definitely leverage, we recruit recruiters, we're all recruiters, recruiters are on LinkedIn, and we just go out there and really kind of, promote.
A lot of organic, just kind of like guerrilla marketing style, and then just talking to people and using our connections and getting the word out over time.
And right now we're in like a situation where we're just assembling a team that wants to like put themselves out there and help build their personal brand, build up their career, and kind of do it within the umbrella. So we really have a lot of autonomy that we offer our current team to just kind of go and do what they need to do while making a really good living for themselves. And now into the creative space, we really are kind of major push with kind of having you be the leader at the forefront and the president and CEO. So how does it feel to really kind of just take over RB Digital, and what are your plans for growing out our new line of business?
It's a great question. I mean, it's definitely, I think every new endeavor is a little bit scary, a little bit nerve-wracking. Obviously, you're putting yourself out there, right? But I'm used to that. It's been years of doing that, and everything I think builds to the moment you're at right now. So I always tell people, like, you have all the tools already in your tool belt. It's just a matter of you taking them out and putting them to use. I do feel amazing that I have a supportive team. I mean, we definitely have these awesome team members in place so that I don't feel like I'm alone on an island, doing things anymore. So it's just really nice to have that, in our team, and our team is growing. So that's definitely part of my strategy as well, is just making sure that we have the right people in place. Being able to know what their vision and goals are, I think, is really important, so that, for instance, like when Sydney came to us and said, hey, I want to open up a New York City office, and it made sense. And I think, you have to be flexible and open to like what your team wants and where they want to go. And I think things naturally kind of fall into place as long as like the support is there. So I really do think, there's a lot we can do on our own, but, we say together is always better. So especially, even launching this podcast, right? It's having the folks in place to be able to help you and support you along the way. And so I owe so much to our team for for being there and being able to make things happen with us. We just happen to be able to be the face. But no, they're amazing. We're truly grateful for them. And I wanted to tie it back too, because I'm really intrigued by the overall concept of passions and tying that into what you do on a day-to-day basis. And I love kind of hearing your story about, I know you were passionate about basketball, and I have, a similar passion for dance, and kind of finding your way through like the jungle of like opportunities, right? And I think that's kind of what is fulfilling to me, being, a recruiter and, doing what we do, is helping people find their way, in their journey, and helping them to at least lead them to a path that makes sense for them. And you can't give them the answers. They have to come up with it on their own as to what they need to tell me, what they want. But you can certainly, what I really love is being able to talk with people and really understand what they love to do on, a day-to-day basis in general. And then, just helping create pathways for them, connecting them to the right people. And I think you have a similar passion for that. But I think it's interesting, I'm meeting you and knowing your passion for basketball, and then transitioning into something you love and being open to that, open to that transition is really key. And then, just finding, having success in that. And then for me too, I went kind of the nonprofit route, and it's really tough. You want to be passionate about something and do something you love on a day-to-day basis, but you also want to earn a living. I also had goals of wanting a family and all those things, and I knew that if I chose a certain route, things could be a little bumpier in that. Not that you can't make it in certain careers, right? But it's like part of you wants that stability, right? And wants to figure out a career path that's going to give you kind of everything that you dream about, right? And that you desire. So that's such a tricky, I think it's just a tricky topic in general. That's what I love to help people kind of figure out, because we've been there and we've had to make some tough decisions. And like I said, I went the nonprofit route. Worked for a ballet company for several years, and really, was passionate in that area. Found a lot of like personal fulfillment, and then I think you're just being open to new opportunities, and being open to new doors and walking through them. And even like Will coming to me and saying, hey, I thought of this idea, what do you think, or you want to be on board with this? And it's like, I think just going through what I went through, obviously in my first episode I talk about kind of my situation and why I was so open to diving into Recruiter Boom and launching the business. I think I definitely also had an entrepreneurial itch, and so I think this has fulfilled, being here at Recruiter Boom and building this has fulfilled a lot for both of us, and getting to do it together is an added bonus. So yeah, but I guess, do you have anything else to add on kind of that topic with, passion, identity, purpose, fulfillment?
Yeah, I think we talked a little bit to our new intern class yesterday about like kind of like listening to your inner child, right? Like don't ignore like what you want to do and who you want to be,
Totally.
kind of growing up. And obviously that can change, but don't always do the logical thing. You can always change gears, but follow your passions. And you can, if your passion, if you love it enough, just chase that passion, and you're going to make money doing it. Just be consistent and go after it, and 2 feet in, jump for it, take the leap of faith, and stay in it through a few trials and tribulations. You're gonna make it happen. But we're excited to kind of relaunch, relaunch, hard launch our RB Digital line of business.
Yep.
We're gonna be placing recruiters. We're gonna be placing recruiting, marketing, creative, digital design. Content, UI,
all the
UX,
creative, digital,
and even like we have members of our team like yourself, Sam, other members, junior members of our RB Digital team. We've got dozens and dozens of amazing, talented candidates with amazing portfolios. And
they've already hit the ground running. So the team is already, so it's great to see that, just the excitement around, what we already have going on. And working with some talented candidates already, and already, working with even current clients who have, these open creative jobs that we're able to come in there and help them out right away. So very exciting stuff. And obviously, we have our New York City office, our Boston office, and we also fill remote positions across the country. So we're able to serve even more people now. So yeah, it's really exciting.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me on. This has been a lot of fun. Of course.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. And thank you so much. Catch you soon, and have an awesome day. Pop off, Queens.
Awesome.